Side mirrors, how do you use yours? So there seems to be a bit of a rising debate about how to actually correctly set your wing mirrors up, your side mirrors. The two methods are one where you have a sliver of the car visible, and the other one is where you have no parts of the car visible. I'm going to be looking at which I use and which I prefer and why. So the first thing I will say is I actually have been playing about with this for a while now, and I've come to the conclusion that the way I prefer my mirrors to be set up is so that I can see a slither of the car. Now, before I hear all the people that set it up where you don't have a slither of the car, so you set it slightly further out to the sides, will be going, oh my God, another driving instructor teaching us to set our mirrors up incorrectly. Have it if you will. Interesting. Now, the reason I will go into it, of course, and what both provide, but there is a very good reason why I set the car up, or the mirrors up, so I can see a slither of the car, and it is nothing, and I mean nothing, to do with depth perception or knowing where your car is. You don't need to know that nonsense. You know where your car is, of course. And that's the biggest thing I see with people that set the mirrors further out. They think that people like me are wrong to set my mirrors up the way I do. Now, do remember the camera I'm using on my head. It is above my eye line, so you will not see a perfect view of what I'm seeing. It's as close as I can get it, of course. Mr. Nobody is one of my biggest fans on this channel. He agrees with absolutely everything I say, especially views on overtaking on the left that come from things like the highway code. So Mr. Nobody, the only time he's ever, if you like, I wouldn't say given me a compliment, but kind of not given me negative feedback, was actually about when I did a video about overtaking and using the center mirror to check the headlights of the vehicle in front before you start looking to move back in, leaving sufficient distance. You can see from the clip, I used to wear the camera on the other way, so I'd have the baseball cap further forward, and that gave an even worse view of what I'm actually seeing. And so Mr. Nobody goes, oh, I hate driving instructors that teach us to set the mirrors up with a sliver of the car visible. I have my mirrors set up like James. And I actually didn't have them set up as Mr. Nobody is describing. It's just simply the fact that the camera's not quite showing you my eyes. I had them set up with a sliver of the car visible, so enjoy that one. Essentially, I understand what people are saying. If I set my mirror further out, it's going to eradicate my blind spot. And that's a wild claim. It might, don't get me wrong, if there's one lane to your side. It certainly won't if there's 2 or 3 lanes to your side, unless you do set it quite far over. But I've never felt the need. I can watch this Audi, watch it disappear. I don't remember the last time I was actually surprised by a car being alongside me. So you can see them in your center mirror. On a 3, 4, 5 lane motorway, you can see them. The red car's going into your blind spot, happy days. So I don't really, personally, I don't feel the need. The majority of my driving is done on A roads, single carriageway. So if I have my mirrors set as I do with a sliver visible, whether you can see that or not, when I've got someone behind me, now he'll move out unfortunately, when I've got someone behind me, it allows me to see what I can't see if my mirrors are set further over to the side. Again, the blue car, look, you can see it going to the side. It's still visible in my side mirror. It's disappearing now, and I can already see it. I mean, with my mirrors set up with just a tiny sliver of the car, I don't really see that I gain that much personally by setting it further over. I think it's wildly exaggerated what people are saying. Oh, I've been shaking. I love it when you go crazy. You take all my inhibitions. Baby, is nothing pulling me back. So ideally, I'd love a big vehicle behind me now to demonstrate this, but I'm going to have to go with a Suzuki Swift, which is not really that big a car, but we'll go with it. Ideally, I'd be in front of those vans there. But I'm not going to dangerously overtake just for content, people, don't you worry. If you've got a tailgater, one way of dealing with this is if you look in the centre mirror, she is right up behind me. And in my centre mirror, I'm getting frustrated because I can see how close she's following me. I can see she's a zombie driver. Can't see any mirror checks going on, etc. So, you know, I could get annoyed at this point. Now, if I change my view to my right wing mirror, I actually start to see more of the road behind. I can see a black car following this car. Now, if I have my mirrors set up in the previous way, so I move my head, I now can't see any of that. Yes, I can move my head and start to see it, right? But think about what I'm saying. I'm set up on an A road, and that's the majority of my driving. I don't need to reduce my blind spot. It's not going to benefit me in any huge way. What I'm starting to see in these side mirrors is the black and the red car that's following that, and I wouldn't be able to see that as clearly if I had my mirrors set up in the alternative way. So I think, look, if you're going to do a lot of motorway driving, for example, with multiple lanes, then there's a little bit of merit to moving your mirror further over. But the reason that I set my mirrors up with the slither of the car visible is without having to move my head round or anything like that, I can see so much more when there's a car behind me. And that's what I'm going to end up with the majority of the time. I'm not going to end up with big areas where I need to worry too much about my blind spot. So there's absolutely nothing wrong with setting your mirrors up with the slither of the car visible. When you see driving instructors with point of view cameras, do bear in mind that some of them maybe will wear it on the front and you're not going to get the perfect view. Like, I can see a tiny slither of my car. You might see more than that, or you might not even see the slither. I don't know until I edit this, really. But side mirrors here, right? Now, neither is wrong. There's nothing wrong with setting your mirrors further out to the right, but it doesn't suit me. It doesn't suit where I am, and it's pointless for me personally. I understand why people do it, but what I'm more interested in, like now, again, if I show you Mr. Nobody's view, I can't see anything. I've got to move my head to start seeing stuff, okay? Think how often I'd have to do that. Bear in mind, I'm on these type of roads all day long. I have to constantly move my head. That would irritate me personally. So I don't do it. I set it up so I can see more. What I'm interested in whenever I'm driving is the unseen. So yes, of course, your blind spot, but it's rare that you do end up with people in your blind spot. It's not going to happen on a road like this, is it? Let's face it. But I'm interested in that white car. It's not the red car I'm interested in. I'm interested in the white car. And then I'm interested in what's behind that. Is there going to be suddenly a police vehicle trying to get through? Is there a motorbike that I need to be aware of? So my side mirrors are set up to optimize and help me with that. They're not set up to help me reduce my blind spot, if you like. So anyway, look, that's my opinion. Nothing wrong with either method. I think they both definitely have merit. I think a lot of people, when they set up with, like me, with a slither, they don't actually understand the benefit. I think that's what I was taught to do. And there's probably a lot of driving instructors that would say things like, oh yeah, so you know where your car, or so this depth perception. But that's not for me. That's not at all. I can see that white car. See, in the center mirror, I can't see it. In the right mirror, I can see the white car. So now I'm starting to see further than I can if I've got my mirrors set up like this. Can't see them either. Can't see either of them now. So I'm going to give myself more warning if some lunatic decides they're going to overtake at this point in time. So anyway, let me know in the comments, how do you set your mirrors up? Do you understand the benefit of both? Do you think one is wrong? For me personally, they're like whiskey. Okay, so I set my mirrors up, as I've said, with a sliver of the car. Now, I like my whiskey with ice. Oh, you're joking. B11 Queen Street closed. That was fine. Rattle Row Hill. Where's that? Can't see anything. Oy. Bloody hell. Where is that? So I like my whiskey with ice. Anyone that's going to tell me that I'm wrong for liking my whiskey with ice doesn't get that we're all allowed to have slightly different things. If you like whiskey without ice, I don't think you're wrong. That's just not what I prefer. So personally, if anyone's going to tell me I'm wrong to set up the mirrors like this, I would have to strongly disagree with you there. If you say, I prefer to have my mirrors further out, blah, 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 I'm with you. God bless you. Yeah, let me know. Which way do you set it up? Do you set it up differently for different roads? I've played about with both for quite a while now, and I have decided that it doesn't suit me to set them further out. I don't really feel any benefit of it. Interestingly, there was one YouTube video I watched on it in America, and they were demonstrating how it gets rid of your blind spot. Look at the size of the vehicle they used. I mean, they've used like a Dodge Ram, absolute monster truck, and they're going, oh yeah, look man, there's no blind spot. Come on. Come on. Put a Fiat 500 in there at least, and then we know.